Hey there, I'm Ari from Tech Buyers Guru. Happy New Year's to all of you out there in YouTube land. Thanks for joining me today. This is my first video of the new year, and I've got a couple of updates. First, a minor update on what's sitting right next to me here. This is a Silverstone SETA A1 case. This is actually a pre-production unit, and it is under embargo until January 15th when I will be posting my review of this case. I have the full system built up and running inside of it, and I just wanted to kind of give you a sneak peek of what it looks like built up. Let me get into my preview of CES. Now, I did actually post a previous preview, but I have a lot more companies on my schedule that I'm going to be meeting with, and I'm leaving in just a couple days. So the schedule is complete. And this time, what I'm going to be focusing on is the PC market. So all of you who are following my channel because you're interested in PC components and accessories, this is going to be the preview for you. And I'm going to be actually listing out the companies by category. First of all, the big one, CPUs. This is a tale of two companies. AMD is going all out. They've got a press conference. They've got a press reception. They've got a huge booth going. Of course, we know they have Ryzen 3000 series. Are they going to announce Ryzen 4000 on the Zen 3 architecture? Nobody really knows. It would be maybe a little bit early for them to do that. Maybe they'll give us a preview of what they expect with Zen 3. I mean, Zen 2 is still going strong. They've just released Threadripper on Zen 2, like 3 weeks ago. And the 3950X 16-core Ryzen 9. I mean, they've just started shipping in the past few days, honestly. So I don't actually think we're going to see production units of Zen 4 Zen 3 of the Ryzen 4000 series. But there should be something interesting. I'm actually hoping for a high-end GPU. And I'll get back to that in a moment because GPUs are kind of an interesting story at CES. Now, I mentioned this is a tale of two companies. Intel is basically forgetting its roots entirely. It wants to cast aside its PC history. Its only big public booth is in the automotive section, and it follows in the footsteps of another big company in the PC market, which is Nvidia, which years ago moved to the automotive section of CES because that's where the glamour is, frankly. That's where all the people want to see the big new products. And, a lot of them are actually literally big, like cars. But I'm a little disappointed that Intel is not interested in showcasing any PC tech. They are leaving that to all their partners, and particularly in the laptop space. There are going to be some pretty interesting Intel CPUs being promoted by its laptop board partners, but probably not by Intel itself. Okay. Speaking of partners, of course, there's the motherboard partners of Intel and AMD. The two companies I'm meeting with are MSI and Gigabyte. Those are two really big names in those categories. Asus might be there. They're a little bit harder to pin down, and frankly, I just don't have time to go off-site to see Asus. And the truth of the matter is, I don't think there's going to be anything big that I won't see at the AMD booth, because if there's a new video card or motherboard release, AMD is going to have it at its booth, okay? I'm hoping, like I said, that there's going to be some new AMD video card released based on its latest architecture, but kind of scaling up like the RX 5700 XT to something more powerful to really challenge Nvidia at the high end. I'd love to see that. I believe AMD has the capacity to roll something like that out. It's only a question of whether it has the guts to. So hopefully we will see that. And of course, being both video card and motherboard partners, MSI and Gigabyte would have those cards if they're on hand to be shown. Nvidia, like I said, probably won't demonstrate anything at all. I don't believe they'll have anything to announce in the PC space. Maybe a 2080 Ti Super, but if that is true, it's only going to be 5 to 10% faster than something they released over a year ago. So it's really not that interesting. So I think the big video card and motherboard partners are going to really be showcasing AMD stuff. So I have a lot of people interested in lower cost AMD motherboards on the B550 chipset. I do believe B550 will be announced at CES, and that's going to bring a whole new market, or open a whole new market for the Ryzen 3000 processors, which were previously kind of limited to the newer motherboards unless you were willing to kind of take a risk on having to flash your motherboard. So I've covered CPUs, motherboards, video cards, solid state drives. This is a really exciting area. Of course, AMD has opened up the PCIe 4.0 standard to its latest motherboards, the X550 chipset. And that means a lot of manufacturers are on board with PCIe 4.0 already. One of the big ones that's not is Samsung. And I believe we're going to see evidence. I'm meeting with Samsung one-on-one. I believe we're going to see evidence that Samsung is going to leave this market. I just don't think that the SSD market is one that they want to participate in. It's kind of similar to the way Intel quietly left the market. They still have a few SSDs at the very high end and the very low end, but they're not a major player. I think given how silent Samsung has been for years, and the fact they haven't released a PCIe 4.0 drive, I don't think they're going to have anything to showcase at CES, and I think that's going to be a sign that they're leaving the market. So we will see. I will definitely scope out the Samsung booth, and well, I'll be talking to Samsung personally and say, hey, where are your SSDs? And I think they'll say, we don't have any. Other big partners of the AMD launch were Corsair, which does have a PCIe 4.0 drive. Also, very exciting to see that XPG is actually going to be at CES, or more specifically, Pepcom's digital experience, which I will be attending on Monday night. So XPG, which really shook up the SSD market with its SX8200 and then the 8200 Pro, and then kind of all up and down the line, they have fantastic products. I'm excited to see what they have. Hopefully some PCIe 4.0 products to showcase. Also, I will be visiting Crucial, which has its ballistics line. Well, they have the Crucial P1 line of low-end drives. I'm hoping they'll actually come out with a high-end NVMe drive. It's a little bit surprising that Crucial hasn't been more active there. Maybe they'll label it ballistics. I'm not sure. That's their kind of high-performance line of memory. I don't know if they'll use that name. But I'd love to see something from Crucial that's like more than $100 drive. They could probably do that. I'm also visiting Kingston HyperX, which makes a number of SSDs. I'm hoping again for some high performance drives from them. Patriot Viper, which already has, I believe they have a PCIe 4.0 drive. Hopefully they'll have them on display. And I'm also going to be meeting with Western Digital. WD does not have any PCIe 4.0 drives. They do have a PCIe drive, the WD Black, which is a fine drive. It's come down in price a lot lately. But I'd like to see some new tech from them. So there's a lot of SSD manufacturers out there, including the biggest, Samsung. But I think the news is going to be coming from some of those other companies I mentioned. Now, there is a lot of overlap between SSDs and RAM because, of course, you're using memory chips in both. And I expect I won't hear too much on RAM. Maybe I'm probably new RGB or adjustable RGB models. I will be meeting with 4 RAM manufacturers: Corsair, Viper, Crucial, and HyperX. I love Crucial for its lower cost ballistics line, and I love Corsair for its high-end RAM. I'm using Corsair in here. It's kind of hidden behind this big Noctua heatsink. A Viper and HyperX I like for specific cases. We'll see if they have more high-performance RAM to showcase to get a little bit more competitive with the other 2 big names. Now, cases, power supplies, and coolers. I mentioned all those together because, frankly, it's interesting. They overlap considerably. If you're a case manufacturer, you pretty much make coolers and power supplies as well. So here are the ones I'm meeting with one-on-one: Be Quiet, Corsair, Cooler Master, InWin, Fantech, Silverstone, and Thermaltake. They all make cases, power supplies, and coolers. I'm not as interested in InWin and Fantech on the power supply and cooler side. I just don't think they have enough to offer, but they have great cases. Fantech's at the high end, InWin I think at the ITX range, and then they have some super high-end one-off bespoke cases, which are crazy limited edition stuff that they always have the wildest cases at CES that maybe like 5 people buy. It will be interesting to see what they come up with. So those are all really interesting companies. I think the most interesting, honestly, are probably Corsair's a big name. Cooler Master, sometimes they have something big, sometimes they don't. Last year they didn't have a ton of new stuff to share. Thermaltake did have a lot of new stuff to share. We'll see if they shake it up again this year. I think Silverstone's going to have a few new things. And in particular, they're going to be showcasing their new line of cases, the Seta and Alta. Hopefully, the Alta is going to make an appearance. These are brand new for 2020. Be Quiet. I am hoping they're going to follow up on their excellent Pure Base 500 with some higher-end cases that use that more modern design that they first implemented with the Pure Base 500. Their other high-end cases currently on the market are a little bit outdated. The 700 and 900 series, I really don't like them that much. So those are the case, power supply, cooler manufacturers I'm meeting with. There's a lot of content there, guys. Really, I'm going to be posting a lot of videos on that stuff. And then accessories: mice, keyboards, headsets. There's a lot of overlap here. Corsair, HyperX, Logitech, and Razer are the companies I'm going to be meeting with on those in those four categories. And headsets, I'm also meeting with Audio Technica, which has recently introduced some gaming headsets for the PC market. So they are a company to watch there. They're, of course, also very big in the audiophile market. So that's really the main reason I'm going to check out Audio Technica. Last year, Corsair introduced some kind of big new keyboards and mice, or at least new technology called Slipstream. They really haven't done much with that technology other than their Virtuoso headset, which I love, and it does use their Slipstream wireless technology. I assume we will see a Slipstream-based keyboard, hopefully some higher-end Slipstream-based mice. We shall soon see. I will be at their press conference at 9 a.m. on Monday when they will surely announce all this, if there's anything to announce. HyperX, I know they're going to have some new keyboards, mice, and a new headset as well. A new wireless headset. It's under NDA. I can't say anything more about it, but it's going to be big. Logitech, I don't know what they're going to have to show. I hope they have some new high-end headsets. They already kind of have the market locked up for high-end mice and keyboards, although Razer is challenging them. Razer has introduced some pretty cool wireless products lately, and we'll see if they have anything new at CES. So, I'm pretty excited about all of those. Of course, we all use keyboards and mice, and those are kind of fun to upgrade every year or two. I upgrade all the time. I'm currently using a Logitech G915, a G502 Lightspeed mouse, and the Corsair Virtuoso headset for all of my personal use. Last thing I should mention for those interested in the PC market, the networking companies, Linksys, Netgear, and TP-Link will be there. I'm going to those three big ones, and I'm going to be asking about Wi-Fi 6, because finally, after a really seemingly endless wait, a lot of new motherboards are coming with Wi-Fi 6 built in, and I think we'll see some more routers that have Wi-Fi 6, and we'll see them at lower price points. I think 2020 is the year that we will see Wi-Fi 6, also known as 802.11ax, being really heavily promoted and adopted by consumers. I think 802.11ax is very exciting, and I'm going to be asking about all of that at CES. So that covers all of the categories I'm going to be covering for the PC market at CES. Please post your comments down below. I'd love to hear your questions. I can get these questions straight to these companies and get them answered for you. Like, honestly, fire away. Let me know what you want to know from the big names, from Corsair, from MSI, from Crucial, from Cooler Master, from Silverstone, from Thermaltake, from Razer. Post your questions. I can get them answered for you. All right. So as always, I'm Ari from the Tech Buyers Guru. Please like and subscribe, and I will catch you next time.